Some of the most intelligent people you will ever meet are also some of the most exhausted. Not from doing too much, from thinking too much. They think about every small talk they had hours ago. They lie awake at 2 a.m. just because they feel something went wrong with what they said or did. They map out scenarios that may never happen at work, school, or a gathering they will be attending. They prepare for arguments that will never take place because they feel it might happen. And by the time the day is over, they are tired in a way that sleep does not fully fix. Here is the psychological paradox at the center of all of it. The same cognitive habit that makes someone thoughtful, empathetic, and careful is the exact same habit that exhausts them. This is known by psychologists as maladaptive rumination. The mind circling back to the same thought loops repeatedly, especially around uncertainty, past events, and social situations. Studies out of Yale and the University of Michigan consistently show that people who ruminate are not doing so out of weakness or anxiety. In many cases, they are doing so because their brain is exceptionally good at pattern recognition. It is always scanning, always processing, always looking for meaning to something, because naturally that is what an intelligent person will do, and this problem is not the intelligence. Your system just never gets a signal to stop. Neurologically, this comes down to the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for planning, analysis, and self-reflection. In overthinkers, this region stays highly active even during downtime. Meanwhile, the default mode network, the brain's background processing system, keeps generating internal monologue. The result is a mind that is always online, always auditing, always drafting responses to conversations that have not happened yet. And most of the time, this did not start in adulthood. For a large number of overthinkers, the pattern begins in childhood, in environments where outcomes felt unpredictable, where moods shifted without warning, where mistakes had consequences that felt disproportionate. The young brain learns a very logical survival strategy. Think ahead, anticipate everything. If you can predict what is coming, maybe you can protect yourself from it. Overthinking in that light is not a flaw. It is an adaptation, a very intelligent nervous system doing exactly what it was trained to do. But here is what the research actually says about what this pattern reveals. A 2013 study published in Psychological Science found that people who reported higher levels of rumination also scored significantly higher on measures of cognitive empathy, the ability to understand and anticipate how other people think and feel. They are more sensitive to social nuance, more aware of how words land, more attuned to the unspoken, emotional texture of a room. The very engine that makes overthinking so exhausting is also what makes these people remarkably perceptive. But perception without resolution is its own kind of burden. Because here is the quiet truth psychology keeps returning to. The mind cannot think its way out of every problem. Some things have to be felt, decided, or released, not solved. Therapists who work with chronic overthinkers often focus not on stopping the thoughts, but on changing the relationship to them. A practice called cognitive diffusion teaches the overthinker to observe a thought without being pulled into it. The shift is subtle but powerful. Instead of, "This situation is dangerous and I need to figure it out," the reframe becomes, "My brain is generating a concern right now." One pulls you in, the other gives you just enough distance to breathe. Overthinking is not a personality defect. It is not evidence of instability or weakness. It is a highly active mind that learned to stay alert in a world that once felt uncertain. The challenge is not to stop the thinking entirely. The challenge is to teach that mind, gently and with patience, that it is finally safe enough to rest. Because the thinking was never the problem. It was always the solution to something that no longer exists, not in the current situation. And understanding that is not the end of the journey, but it is exactly where it begins. So subscribe to our channel to begin a whole world of insight.